And in novelty crisis, all the rather I would say mostly or all the parents may think it is the curable condition, and if we go to the right professionals, right therapist, the condition may be curable with the times, most of the time. That means they accept the child, but they do not ready to accept the condition of the child. That is the novelty crisis. Here they accept the condition of the child, but they do not accept the they do accept the child, but they do not accept the condition of the child. And as a result, they may change the professionals, they may change the place from one place to the other place. They most of the time they go to Vellore, CMC, Nivens, and the many other places, to the Ojas, to the even to the religion practice professionals, so that the child may be curable at times. And that is the novelty crisis. And when they are going through the novelty crisis, and within the parents or within the family member, the one question is hunting, or one question is raised, that who is to be blamed for the child, and who is to be blamed. That means they try to find out what is the exact cause of such condition. And that means they're trying to find out the cause of the conditions, number one. And number two, they try to find out who is to be blamed, whether the parent is to be blamed, or the mother or father, grandfather, grandmother, in-laws, doctors, professionals, or any other relatives, or whatever may be. They try to find out the who is to be blamed. And from there, existing value system may be hampered, may be questions. So before the child, there was a value system, there was a cordial relationship, there was a cooperation, there was a very lovable relationship, even the understanding relationship. But when there is question who is to be blamed, from there they basically questioning the value system within the family members, within the culture. And when they are asking the questions, and from there the crisis started, there the blame. And from there many stages may be occurred. In this stage, research says, and when there was some marital discord in the novelty crisis, it may be fatal condition during the value crisis stage. And most of the divorce cases, suicide cases, suicidal attempt, abandonment occurred during the value crisis stage. মানে অনেক ক্ষেত্রেই দেখা যায় এই স্টেজের ক্ষেত্রেই বাবা মাকে ছেড়ে চলে গেছে, ডিভোর্স দিয়ে দিয়েছে, বাবা মা দুজনেই বাচ্চাটিকে ফেলে দিয়ে চলে গেছে, বা they are trying to search for the ashrams, they are trying to search for the hostel facilities where they may send their child. So this is the value crisis, when they are trying to find out the responsible person, and they are questioning the value system within the family members. And here two things happen. One is either the parents may most of the times the mother, mainly the mother, either overprotectiveness may happen or abandonment may happen. Overprotectiveness means বাচ্চাটি ফ্যামিলির জগৎ হয়ে যায়, they leave their job, they resign from their job, they may discontinue the relationship with the family members. They may discontinue their hobbies. They may discontinue even within the normal family husband-wife relationship. And even the mother and sometimes the father also completely make themselves busy with the child only. That means the overprotectiveness, মানে বাচ্চাটি তাদের কাছে জগৎ হয়ে ওঠে। আর একটা ঘটনা ঘটে এখানে ক্ষেত্রে, completely abandonment. And in the many times they may thrown away the child from the families. They try to exclude the child. in a very defined form. When I was at Olakendu Bontiketon, that time one lady, one girl child was there who was sent here, sent at Olakendu Bontiketon from Goa, so that the family members or the relative may not stage the child where she is now. From Goa to Kolkata, it was not easy journey, but still it is also the abandonment. And most of the time, the parents may search for the homes also, the where they can stand, and they may say that আমি যদি আমার বাচ্চাটাকে ওখানে পাঠাই তাহলে he will get the better treatment, he will get the better therapy. But it is also the one type of abandonment. And here also the parents accept, either accept or deny the child with their condition, and sometimes they may accept without condition. And in the later stage, at the last during the last phase of the value crisis, when they visited many places and they are getting the same response, they may be ready to accept the child with their condition. That is the reality crisis started from there, when they accept the child with his or her conditions. মানে আমি বাচ্চাটিকে অ্যাকসেপ্ট করে নিচ্ছি তার কন্ডিশন সহ। এতদিন পর্যন্ত বাচ্চাটিকে অ্যাকসেপ্ট করছিল কিন্তু কন্ডিশনকে নয়। এই প্রথমবার, দিস ইজ দ্য ফার্স্ট টাইম দে আর অ্যাকসেপ্টিং দ্য চাইল্ড উইথ দেয়ার কন্ডিশন। এইখানে তো নাও ইউ মে কোশ্চেন্স, ইউ মে আস্ক দ্যাট why it is a condition, why it is a crisis when they are accepting the child with their condition. Yes, crisis is there. Now I am accepting the child with condition. Now the question started, where he will go for education, where he will go for the treatment, where he will go for the vocational training, where he will go for the further intervention. So these many reality based questions may arise, and from their reality crisis or organized or the form. And as a result, and the last and foremost question, which is the most crucial to the professional also, to the parents also, what would happen to my child when we will be no more? And that are the reality question. মানে এখানে ক্ষেত্রে হয় যে আমি বাচ্চাটিকে মেনে নিই যে সবকিছু আমার ঠিক আছে, even I am ready to spend the money also for my child, I am ready to devote my time also, my energy also, but where do I go? আমি যাবোটা কোথায় এখানে গিয়ে? Whether there is appropriate professional. And গতকালকেই I had a program, so there are many parents who are asking, if I go to the one professional, they may refer to the another professional, he or she may refer to the another professional. So we are going like a cycle, so one place to the another place, but we are not getting the proper intervention. So that are the reality based questions, and from their reality crisis started. But still, so these are the crisis timing. As a parents or as a professionals, rather I can say, as a professional, we have to make them understand, or we have to make them identify that in which stage they are now. For example, when the parents is coming to you, not there, it is not related to the child's age. That means the child is 2 years old, they are in a reality stage, child will be in an adult, so he will be in a value crisis stage. The reality, it is not happening like that. Even we have noticed the parents may comes to us with the age of 30-40 years of the child. Even still they are expecting that the child will be okay. There was a problem of the professional, so that's why the child is not getting the proper intervention. As a result, the condition may be continued. That means it is not related to the age of the child. It may happen any stage or the any age of the child. So that means our role is to identify in which stages the parents are, and make them aware, and make to settle them with the realistic goal, so that we can start with the intervention process. That is important. As already I have mentioned, the what have parents as a child, either they expect a perfect child and a parenting role. So these are the crisis period. If you have any queries, please feel free to ask. Otherwise, it is directly related to the intervention also. When I will discuss the later part, that will be directly related to this part, like novelty, value, or the reality crisis. So
স্যার, ওখানে বাচ্চাটা কি বলেন 33-34 বছর বয়সে, কি ওইখানটা একটুখানি ইয়ে করতে পারলাম
33
না।
বছর বয়সেও সে বাচ্চাটি যখন আসে তখনও পর্যন্ত নোভেলটি ক্রাইসিসেই রয়ে গেছে। মানে তখনও তার মনে হচ্ছে যে আমার বাচ্চা বোধহয় ঠিক হয়ে যাবে।
আচ্ছা,
এটা ঠিক হয়নি, তার কারণ হচ্ছে ও ও যেখানে যেখানে প্রফেশনালদের কাছে আমি নিয়ে গেছি, তারা কেউ ওর সঙ্গে জাস্টিস করেনি, তার জন্য বাচ্চাটি ঠিক হয়নি। নাহলে বাচ্চাটি ঠিক হয়ে যেত, এখনো পর্যন্ত ঠিক হয়নি, সেই জন্য আপনাদের কাছে নিয়ে এসেছি, আপনাদের সেন্টারের নাম আমরা শুনেছি, সেই জন্য আপনাদের এখানে নিয়ে এসেছি। সো দ্যাট মিনস এতদিন পরেও তারা ওই সেম জায়গাটাতেই রয়ে গেছে, ওই নোভেলটি ক্রাইসিসেই রয়ে গেছে, তারা এখনো পর্যন্ত মানে রিয়েলিস্টিক জায়গাতে আসতেই পারেনি,
বুঝতে
রিয়েলিস্টিক গোল
পারিনি,
সেট
হ্যাঁ।
হয়নি আলটিমেটলি। এবং তাদের ক্ষেত্রে দেখবেন, যদি এটা খেয়াল করে দেখেন, তাদের ক্ষেত্রে দেখবেন যে বাচ্চাটি হয়তো 33 বছর বয়স, তখনও মা চেষ্টা, মানে মা হয়তো আর কিছুদিন পরে মারাও যাবে, এমন একটা শারীরিক কন্ডিশন। এখন তিনি বুঝতে পারছেন যে আমার এবার কিছু করা দরকার, এবং তার ফলে উনি এখন মরিয়া হয়ে উঠেছেন। কিন্তু তখনও পর্যন্ত মরিয়া হয়ে উঠলেও তখনও পর্যন্ত তাকে খাইয়ে দিচ্ছে, তার ড্রেস চেঞ্জ করে দিচ্ছে, তাকে ওয়াশ করে দিচ্ছে, দরকার হলে তার লোক রেখে দিচ্ছে। আর এখন তিনি মনে করছেন যে আমি যখন মারা যাব তাহলে হু উইল কন্টিনিউ, মানে কে এই কাজগুলো করে দেবে, সেই জন্য তারা চিন্তিত। আদপে কোনোভাবেই তারা রিয়েলিটির জায়গাতে গিয়ে তখনো পর্যন্ত পৌঁছায়নি, বা রিয়েলিস্টিক গোলটা তখন অ্যাচিভ করতেই পারেননি, এই জায়গাটা বলতে চাইছি আমি।
আচ্ছা আচ্ছা, হ্যাঁ স্যার, বুঝছি।
নেক্সট এখানে ক্ষেত্রে ফিউ রেসপন্সেস টু দ্য ডায়াগনোসিস জেনারেলি হয় ইমোশনাল রেসপন্সের ক্ষেত্রে আইদার ডিপ্রেশন, অ্যাঙ্গার, শক, ডেনায়াল, ফিয়ার, সেলফ ব্লেম, গিল্ট, সরো, গ্রিফ, কনফিউশন, ডিসপেয়ার, হস্টিলিটি, ইমোশনাল ব্রেকডাউন। এটা মেনলি দেখা যায় যে এটা ভ্যালু ক্রাইসিস স্টেজে, মেনলি এগুলো ভ্যালু ক্রাইসিস স্টেজের ক্ষেত্রে দেখা যায়। স্টার্টেড ফ্রম with the novelty crisis, and it may continue to the value crisis, even sometime it is maybe happen, but maybe present in the reality crisis also. And negative psychological even crying, not eating, cold sweat, trembling, fear, physical pain, breakdown. And positive emotional response and prepare for diagnosis. One to here, it is basically the reality crisis stage, when the parents are ready to accept the child with the condition. So this is the positive emotional response. And non-specified response, including suicide to suicidal attempt. So many non-specified response may be there. Now the attitude, and what are the conflict between the parents and the professionals. With one code, I will try to understand the conflict between the parents and the professionals from our perspective to the parental perspective. See, one code is there. I knew her condition was serious and her prognosis poor, but to me, she was my firstborn beautiful child. Every time I expressed my joy to the staff at the hospital, they said she is denying reality. I understood the reality of my child's situation, but for me, there was another reality. And from there, the conflict started with the professional versus parents. See, as a professional, we are trying to, or we are trying to make them understand that your child condition prognosis is poor, that means the child condition is poor. অপরদিকে যে বাবা বা মা যিনি দেখছেন অন্য দিক থেকে, তার কাছে কি, দ্যাট ইজ দ্য ফার্স্ট বর্ন বিউটিফুল চাইল্ড, তিনি তখনও তো অ্যাকসেপ্ট করেননি বাচ্চাটিকে যে তার মধ্যে কোনো একটা প্রবলেম আছে বলে, তার কাছে সেটা তখনও পর্যন্ত প্রথম। বা আরেকটা ফর এক্সাম্পল, আই এম দ্য কলেজ টিচার, আই এম দ্য ডক্টর, আই এম দ্য আইপিএস অফিসার, আই এম দ্য আইএস অফিসার। সো আমি মানতেই পারছি না আমার ছেলে কোনোদিন মাধ্যমিক পরীক্ষা বসতেই পারবে না। হি উড নেভার সিট ফর ইভেন দ্য ক্লাস 10 এক্সামিনেশন, though I am the IAS officer, IPS officer, or the highly educated person. So the parents is thinking in that way, they আমার child সে মাধ্যমিকটাও পাস করবে না। In the another way, you are trying to make him understand. আপনার মনে হচ্ছে যে বাবা এত শিক্ষিত লোক এইটুকু বুঝতে পারছে না, the child is not in such condition that he may get clear the madhyamik examination. Man, what would happen even he complete the madhyamik examination, he would not able to do the basic mathematical calculation, he would not able to read out the newspaper, read out the functional words. What would happen even he complete the madhyamik examination? So that the conflict between the parents and the professionals. But still, here the conflict, most of the time conflict started with the parents and professional. And we have to understand, here we have to be the empathize, so that we make them in a realistic goal, or we make them to settle down with the realistic goal. Otherwise, the conflict may be continued and they may be left to your center, and they may be go to the another professional. Again, the frustration will be started, anxiety may be started, and you will blame to each other. So that may be attitude, and that may be the conflicting condition or the denying condition between the parents and the professionals. Now the C, the subordinate group and the identify the personal response. If you see the family functioning from two here, maybe here. One is the positive impact, and another maybe the negative impact. As I was mentioning, that the positive impact key, the strengthen the family cohesion, and many times it was happening that there was a family conflict before the child is identified that disabled, even before the child is identified as the addict's condition, there may be a conflict. But when the child is identified, they even forget about their conflict. They forget about their marital discord. They jointly hold their hands and trying for intervention and going to the one place to the another place so that the other child may be reached in a certain stage. That means they strengthen the family. Disability condition most of the time strengthen the family. Even if you think about the Sudhakal ma'am, if you think about the India Autism Center, if you uh, um, think about the Huldia recently established home at Huldia, the disability village, who has found they are also she was a scientist, but for their child she left the job and joined in the special education program, and husband also left the job and joining the special education program, and now they are thinking in the broader aspects. Their child's basically makes them think in a different way. As a result, they are contributing something positive to the larger society. That is also the positive impact only for the child. Sudha Kalmad even not thinking if her daughter was in a problem, daughter I think, or the son was in a problematic stage. And in the many cases, বাচ্চাটির যদি প্রবলেম না হতো তিনি হয়তো এই ফিল্ডে আসতেনই না, তিনি হয়তো অন্য কাজগুলো করতেনই না, তিনি অন্যভাবে দেখেছেন বা হাজবেন্ড ওয়াইফ জয়েন্টলি একসাথে গেছেন এবং তারা কোনো নতুন কিছু কাজ করতে আরম্ভ করেছেন। ইনক্রিজ অপরচুনিটি ফর পার্সোনাল গ্রোথ অ্যান্ড দ্য অ্যাচিভমেন্ট। মোস্ট অফ দ্য টাইম they even think they started the new journey and which may give the new opportunities in terms of the growth and the even the achievement, also increase awareness and appreciation of life. So they may think or they may look to the life in a different from the different angle also. So that is also the positive aspect of the disability condition. Negative aspect, as you know, the poor communication, child as the source of the sorrow and the burden, sibling emotional and bewilderment. So many things may be happens due to the stress condition about the future, being insulted or the deceived by the some other persons. It every time we may say that আমি যখন রাস্তায় যাই ওরা আমাকে দেখে হাসে, ওরা আমাকে দেখে বলে। That means every time I am giving emphasis to the opinion of the others. As a result, stress has been created and the stress has been generated, but stressful situation has been generated. The child's challenging behaviors, problem behavior may create the stress. Insufficient or ineffective support of the resources. There are, I am thinking about the resources. I am ready to spend money. I am giving the ready to, but I don't know what would be the proper professional knowledge, and due to the insufficient and inappropriate educational support or the therapeutic support, it may be the creating the stress and anxiety. Parental health and well-being, it may hamper the emotional, as that they are thinking about the emotional burden when even they are thinking about the physical burden. If you see, even last day I was talking about in case of the Bangalore case, as you know, the বাচ্চাটিকে তিনতলা ছাদ থেকে ছুঁড়ে ফেলা হয়েছিল নিচে, এসে মা আবার চেক করে দেখেছেন যে বাচ্চাটি বেঁচে আছে কিনা, আবার তুলে নিয়ে গেছে, আবার ড্রেস চেঞ্জ করে সেখান থেকে ছুঁড়ে ফেলেছে। See how the parents is depressed, how the parents is stressful so that she could do such thing with the child, her own child. And when Shivani Dalal was interacting with the mother, she was so sad, she was so depressed that she was telling that I don't have any options. I would not find out so that I can continue with the child. কারণ ওনার হাজবেন্ড ওনাকে ছেড়ে চলে গেছিলেন, ব্যাঙ্গালোরের মতো জায়গা, তো ওনার কাছে কেউ নেই, তখন মনে হয়েছে বাচ্চাটিকে মেরে ফেলে আমি সুইসাইড করবো। So see the parental health condition, parental emotional condition, well-being condition. So that has to be considered as a professional, otherwise it may be the creating problems. Parental coping strategy, the proactive behaviors, distraction and the acceptance, and the social support like social isolation, family support or the informal support is required. Now If you see the uh, parenting behavior or the classification according to the types of families, or the according to the parenting behaviors, like democratic, neglectful, overprotective, or the authoritative. As you know, the democratic parents are more sensitive and more accepting of their children's perspective and give them opportunities for choice. However, they are always provide rational explanation or occasionally let the children participate in the decision making process. Children are generally cheerful, socially responsible. They have high self trust. They are achievement oriented. They tend to be cooperative with adults and the peers. And here our role is less. When the parents is democratic parents, the family is democratic family. So they are, as a professional, our role is less. The parents will take much more important parts in the child rearing practice, even with the child with disability condition.